Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Vivek and today we are going to talk about a very specific sensor called Mercury tilt sensor or a Mercury switch. So what this does is basically a switch which throws out a digital output based on whether it is connected switch or a disconnected switch. How we basically would need the program right now which I'm using is using two switches, okay, or uh, two sensors. So basically the Mercury switches are two in this program, okay. And how do I connect it? This is how I connect it. So to show you the diagrammatic representation of how do we connect, okay, so consider this is my one switch and this is my second switch, right? Now there is a ground and a voltage in, so that is which I'm taking from Arduino board of 5 volts, and the ground is basically connected to the ground. S is where it is um, it is basically taking an input, okay. So basically when the switch is on it will take an input of 1, and when the switch is off it takes an input of 0, okay. Similarly you have a where another this thing a switch where it will take the input, right? So basically if you see this the orange one goes into a pin number 4, so that is the input pin, okay. And similarly over here the light blue one goes to the pin number 7, right? So that is another input. So we have two inputs, so which we'll call as a button input or a switch input, right? And then based on this input values, what we will do, we will give the output on this L, that is on a pin number 6 and a pin number 5. So 5 and 6 are the output pin, okay. So let me just quickly show you the code. So if you see this 5 and 6 over are the output pin, and that is what we define it as a output pin. Pin number 4 and 7, as I mentioned, it is input pin, okay, and which will be used to read the input. So basically the code is simple, okay. It just reads the value at this pin, okay, or the pin number 7 or the input pin. And what it does, if the state is high, okay, and the brightness is not this thing is not bright, so it will try to make the brightness, okay. It will try to glow the LED to 255, okay, or the brightness to be the highest. Again, this is a digital value which it throws, and then it takes a state of button B, okay, tries to read it, and if it is again high, so both are high, okay. So what happens when both are high, it will, and the brightness now it checks it is not equal to 0, okay, then it tries to decrement the brightness. And finally if you see over here, it is writing, we are writing on a pin, okay, which is output pin, LED pin, which are writing an analog write, okay, not a digital write but an analog write. And analog write, we are writing the brightness value, okay. We can always try with a digital write also, but that will not be the right way to do, okay, because it just gives a 1 0. Here you can see it will glow to 1 and then glow to 0 and so on and so forth, right? So basically it will start at 255, and then the pin number B would be almost 0, and then it gets a delay of 25 seconds, okay. So just to repeat the code, what we will do, we will once again come back to this code, but let me show you my physical connection, okay. I have already shown you my diagrammatic connection. So this is how I look my physical connection. So this is my Arduino board, okay. So this Arduino board is now okay, so let me just slightly tilt it, okay. So now if you can see my Arduino board, okay, uh, on this side, okay, so basically from this side, okay, you can see a pin number 4 to 7. Okay, so this side is pin number 4 to 7. Okay, that is basically you can imagine it as a output input pin which I mentioned. So and this is pin number 4 on the leftmost side. Okay, so this pin number 4 goes into okay, so let me just show you this also, right? So this is my sensor. Okay, I have a two sensors, so I'll show you my first sensor. Okay, so let's call it as a sensor number A or a sensor A, right? And if you see, I have a pin which is pin number 4. Okay, pin number 4 will go to, right? So if you see, pin number 4 is basically a first sensor which will go to a button pin, okay, which will go to the button pin in my sensor. Okay, so basically this is pin number 4. Okay, this one, the black one, is a pin number 4 on the leftmost side, and it goes over here, right? It goes into where it takes the input. Okay, so this sensor takes the input on S. Okay, so there are 4 pins in the sensor. Let me just take out and show it to you. Okay, so this is my sensor which has got a 4 pins, right? And if you see here, I have a ground pin. Okay, uh, uh, this one is the ground pin. Okay, and then I have a voltage pin. Then I have a pin which is denoted as S, that will act as an input pin, right? So and then I will have a output pin. Okay, so now if you see, okay, so it is basically we will call as a sensor B. Okay, and if you see, the pin number 4 goes into here. Okay, so basically pin number 4 will go the pin number 4 will go inside the value S. Okay, so the third pin, I'm trying to push that. Okay, so what I have done now is I have taken an input. Okay, or basically the output will go from this pin number 4. Okay, so I have connected my black wire to the pin number 4. Okay, so this is how it is shown now. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll have to take a output. Okay, so I'm taking an output from the last pin. Okay, or this pin will be now connected to pin number 6, right? So if you see this, this is LED B, this is sensor B. Okay, so this will ideally has to go to the pin number 6. Okay, so you can check over here. So this goes into the pin number 6. Okay, so that is my pin number 6. Okay, now I'll connect my so this is my red wire, so that goes into a positive. Okay, and right, so that goes into the positive, and then I will take another one. Okay, so this one I'll take and put it into the ground one. Okay, so let me quickly put it in the ground one. Okay, and let me just quickly do that. Okay, so now I have connected one of them. Okay, so we have connected this one. Okay, right now it is also glowing, if you can see. Okay, and then what I have is I have similarly I have connected this one. Okay, so right now I'll show you the glowing one. So you see this slight red. Okay, so this one is glowing now. Okay, and this is my Mercury pen. Okay, so now it is connected. Okay, now if you see this, the Mercury has come down, so it closes the circuit. The moment I turn it, the red light will go off. Okay, so hopefully you are able to see a ting of red light over here. Okay, so this is my red light. The moment I turn, so the moment what will happen, this ball is also there, right? The moment I turn it, it will go to 0. Now I have turned it, okay, and if you can see over here, okay, now if you see it is gone, okay, then again what I'll do, I'll try to turn and show it to you, okay. So now I have again turned it upside down, okay, and now if you see it is started glowing, okay. So let me see if I'm able to capture that, okay. So now if you again see, it is again become a 1, okay. So this is with one of the sensor. Now what is happening, I'll show you, okay. So this is basically my our second one, okay. So the bin this one, okay. Now it is trying to read, okay. So this one is basically what happens, it will try to read from the other sensor, and it finds it is still 0, okay. I have not done anything, so it's still 0, okay. And what it does, if it is high and the brightness is so brightness for this is now 255, okay. So brightness value will basically okay, so right now we have started with the brightness 0, so it's not 0 and it's still down, so nothing will happen to the brightness. Then it reads the pin number 2, okay, right? And what it does, it now assumes that it's a high, okay. Not assume, it sees that it is high, okay. And when it is high and brightness is not 0, okay, but brightness is already 0, so it will not do any minus, okay. What it will do, it will tell LED pin A brightness value is 0, okay. For the pin B, what it does, 255 minus the brightness, so that is the reason the LED pin 2 is now glowing, okay. Understood? And then it has a delay of 25 seconds, 25 milliseconds, okay. So it's very less. Similarly, what will happen now, I was playing with LED 1, okay. So this one, if you can see, it was like a ting of red, okay. So hopefully you can see this ting of red. Yes, you can, right? A slight ting of red. So now if you can see red one is now visible on my finger, okay. So this was, I was dealing with this was my sensor B, okay. Now I'll turn it upside down, so now it is gone, okay. Now if you see, it is not having any ting of red, okay. Now this is my another sensor, which is sensor B. The moment I put it down, okay, so now if you see, okay, the moment I do this, okay, what happens, right? If you see, now what's happening, it is having a red, right, because it closes the circuit, okay. The pin goes 1, okay, it goes into this loop, okay, it goes high, the brightness value now has gone increased, okay. It is not equal to 255, it will keep on increasing, right. It will come over here, it will say it is not 0, it will reduce 1, but LED A, it will print the value of brightness, and LED B, which is basically 255 minus the brightness. So if you see over here, right, so if you can just see my finger, right, okay. So this is what the tilt, it basically will work as a tilt sensor also. You can use this to basically change the value based on this output values, okay, on the brightness value. You can also operate a external relay also, right. So we will not go into further that, but this was what I wanted to cover as part of a light cup sensor, or also called as a Mercury sensor. Thanks for joining the session. We'll meet again. Thanks and bye bye.